the Grand Canyon. It's a chasm so vast, superlatives just don't do it justice. A mile deep, 277 miles long. But what if its greatest wonder isn't the sheer scale, but the secrets it locks away? Secrets of voices that cried out, then fell silent forever. Of shadows flickering at the edge of your sight, and whispers of entire cities carved into its heart, unseen by the millions gazing from the rim. Forget the postcards. We're heading into a Grand Canyon you won't find in any brochure, a place where the earth has literally swallowed people whole, and where legends of lost worlds just won't die. For thousands of years, the Grand Canyon has been a sacred place, a massive barrier, and an endless source of mystery. Its beauty? Absolutely breathtaking. A geological masterpiece, carved by the relentless Colorado River over eons. Every year, millions flock to see its views, hike its trails, and feel tiny against its immense grandeur. But just beneath this well-trodden surface, the canyon holds a darker, more puzzling reputation. This isn't just about the obvious dangers of a huge wilderness, the tragic accidents, the brutal terrain. No, this is about the cases that make no sense, the disappearances so total, they feel almost supernatural. And the persistent, tantalizing stories of civilizations that rose and fell in its hidden corners, leaving only whispers and shadows. We're about to journey into the heart of these mysteries. We'll explore the most baffling cases of people who walked into the canyon and never walked out. And we'll delve into those enduring legends of hidden worlds, secret entrances, and subterranean cities, supposedly carved deep within the ancient rock. Get ready to question what you think you know about this iconic landmark, as we unearth the Grand Canyon secret of lost people and hidden civilizations. The Grand Canyon's sheer size makes it terrifyingly easy to get lost. Its rugged backcountry is a maze of side canyons, sheer cliffs, and wild temperature swings, a serious challenge even for seasoned hikers. The National Park Service conducts numerous search and rescue operations every year, and thankfully, many end well. But some stories don't end with a rescue. They end with a chilling silence, a void where a life used to be. It's estimated that over 1,100 people have gone missing in the Grand Canyon since 2018 alone, making it the national park with the most missing persons in America. While many of these cases are eventually resolved, often tragically, a disturbing number remain open, leaving a cold trail of unanswered questions. Take Glen and Bessie Hyde. In 1928, this newlywed couple set out to brave the Colorado River's treacherous waters through the Grand Canyon in a homemade scow. Glen was chasing a speed record, and Bessie was on track to be the first woman to successfully run the canyon. They were last seen in November of that year, reportedly after restocking supplies with photographer Emery Kolb at his South Rim studio. Days turned into weeks. The Hydes never showed up at their destination in Needles, California. An extensive search began. Their scow, eventually found upright and completely intact, still holding their supplies, journals, even Bessie's camera. But Glen and Bessie Hyde vanished. Theories flew. Did they capsize and get swept away? Their bodies never found? Was it a murder-suicide? Or did they encounter something or someone sinister in the canyon's remote depths? The mystery only deepened years later, when a woman on a river trip reportedly claimed she was Bessie Hyde, confessing she'd stabbed her abusive husband and escaped. But this was never proven. Decades later, after a renowned Grand Canyon river runner named Georgie Clark died, friends found a birth certificate with the name Bessie and the Hyde's marriage certificate in her home. Could Georgie have actually been Bessie, living a new life for over half a century? The truth remains swallowed by the canyon's immense silence. The disappearance of Glen and Bessie Hyde really set the stage for the unsettling mysteries this canyon would continue to collect. More recently, in 2016, Floyd E. Roberts, an experienced hiker who knew the Grand Canyon well, was on a backcountry trip with a group. He split off from his companions, planning to meet them at a prearranged spot. He never made it. Despite massive searches in the area where he was last seen, an area he supposedly knew like the back of his hand, not a single clue to his whereabouts has ever turned up. Temperatures had spiked dramatically during that time, over 115 degrees Fahrenheit, adding to the danger, but still not explaining the total lack of evidence. It was as if the canyon itself had just erased him. Then there are cases like the South Korean family, Jeon Lee, Tae-hee Kim, and Jung-hee Kim, who vanished in March 2025. They were driving from the Grand Canyon towards Las Vegas. Their rented BMW was last tracked on Interstate 40 near Williams, Arizona, close to where a massive fiery vehicle pileup had just happened because of a winter storm. But authorities found no trace of them or their car in the wreckage or the surrounding areas, despite searching by foot, air, and car. Hospitals were checked. Nothing. The fire from the accident was so intense, it left many vehicles unidentifiable. While this happened outside the park itself, the Grand Canyon was their starting point, adding another layer to the region's unsettling net for making people disappear. The family was supposed to fly out of a California airport, but never got there. All communication stopped, and their credit cards went silent after that last GPS ping, baffling authorities who noted how unusual it was for 3 people to vanish at once like that. And in December 2024, Martha Overholser, a 66-year-old woman, was last seen at Mather Point on the South Rim. She didn't return to her commercial bus tour, and it's thought she might have walked west from Mather Point. Despite an active search by the National Park Service, she's still missing. These are just a few names, each a puzzle with missing pieces. Their stories absorbed into the canyon's vast, unyielding landscape. Official explanations often point to the harsh environment, falls, dehydration, getting lost. But for some, especially when absolutely no trace is ever found, these explanations feel incomplete. It's this totality of disappearance that feeds the unsettling idea that maybe other forces are at play within the deep shadows and silent crags of this immense natural wonder. Beyond the unsettling disappearances of individuals, the Grand Canyon is also ground zero for much grander, more ancient mysteries, legends of entire civilizations that supposedly thrived and vanished within its depths, leaving tantalizingly few, if any, verifiable traces. And these aren't just campfire tales. Some are rooted in early 20th century newspaper headlines, Native American traditions, and persistent speculation that just won't quit despite official skepticism. Perhaps the most famous, the one that really sticks, is the story of Kincaid's Cave. On April 5, 1909, the Arizona Gazette ran a sensational front-page story. It detailed the alleged discoveries of an explorer named G.E. Kincaid. According to the article, Kincaid, while out prospecting and boating down the Colorado River, stumbled upon a mysterious cave entrance, about 2,000 feet up a sheer canyon wall. Curiosity got the better of him, so he made the dangerous climb and entered a vast network of tunnels and chambers. What he claimed to have found inside was astounding. Artifacts suggesting an ancient civilization, possibly with ties to Egypt or the Orient. The article painted a picture of a huge underground citadel, big enough for 50,000 people. Kincaid reported finding mummies, copper tools, golden urns, statues that looked Egyptian or Hindu, and most intriguingly, tablets covered in hieroglyphics. One chamber was described as a crypt with tiers of mummies, each on a hewn shelf, alongside copper cups and broken swords. He even mentioned an idol that resembled Buddha. The story went on to allege that Kincaid sent some of these artifacts to the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C., and that a scientist named G. Jordan was involved. The implications were mind-blowing. If true, this would rewrite American history, suggesting advanced ancient cultures made transoceanic voyages long before Columbus. But here's where the story gets hazy. The Smithsonian has consistently denied any record of Kincaid, Jordan, or any such expedition or artifacts. No credible archaeological evidence of Kincaid's cave or its supposed contents has ever been independently verified or brought to light by mainstream science. Historians generally view that 1909 Arizona Gazette article as a hoax, a piece of sensational journalism pretty common back then, designed to sell papers. And yet, the story of Kincaid's cave refuses to die. It's become a cornerstone for theories of lost civilizations and government cover-ups. Some proponents suggest that the forbidden zone of the Grand Canyon, an area near where the Colorado and Little Colorado rivers meet, that's restricted to visitors, is where these secrets are hidden. This region is sacred to Native American tribes like the Hopi and Navajo, and access is limited to protect cultural and ecological sites, including Hopi salt mines. But for believers in Kincaid's tale, these restrictions are just more proof of a conspiracy to hide a truth that would shatter our historical narratives. The idea of a hidden Egyptian or Tibetan colony deep in the American Southwest is a powerful one, tapping into that desire for mystery and the chance to rewrite history. Despite the lack of hard proof, books and articles keep exploring Kincaid's alleged discovery, sometimes with illustrations and new spins on the old tale. The Kincaid legend isn't alone. It fits into a wider web of myths about hidden cities and tunnel networks under the Grand Canyon. Some theories propose huge interconnected cave systems housing the remnants of these lost societies, filled with treasure and ancient knowledge. These tales sometimes weave into Native American beliefs. For the Hopi people, the Grand Canyon, or Ntupka, is profoundly sacred. Their origin stories tell of their ancestors emerging from a previous world, the third world, into our present fourth world, through an opening called the Sipa Pew. This place of emergence is traditionally linked to a spot within the Grand Canyon, often near the Little Colorado River. The Sipa Pew is seen as a spiritual portal, a gateway to the underworld or an ancestral realm. While Hopi spiritual beliefs are distinct and deeply cultural, these traditions of an underworld and emergence have, for some, blended with or inspired the more sensational legends of actual hidden cities populated by unknown ancient peoples. Other tribes, like the Havasupai, also have creation stories tied to the Grand Canyon, believing humanity originated there, guided by spirits from its depths. These ancestral ties and the spiritual weight of the canyon for many tribes add another layer of mystique. Fueling these speculative fires are claims of a Smithsonian cover-up, not just about Kincaid, but about other potentially anomalous finds too. The theory goes that the institution, to protect established historical and anthropological views, has actively suppressed evidence of advanced or non-native ancient civilizations in North America. There is, however, no credible evidence to back these widespread claims of a cover-up. They're firmly in conspiracy theory territory. The Smithsonian itself has debunked these myths, stating they don't destroy artifacts and that no evidence of giant humans or Egyptian ruins in the Grand Canyon has ever been substantiated by them. Despite these denials, the idea of a powerful institution hiding world-altering secrets holds a strong appeal for many. The Grand Canyon's mysteries don't stop at historical disappearances and grand legends of lost cities. They creep into the realm of the strange, the seemingly paranormal. For centuries, this vast wilderness has been a backdrop for inexplicable experiences, eerie encounters, and unsettling phenomena that are hard to categorize, further blurring the lines between what we know and what we don't. Hikers and explorers over the years have shared some pretty unsettling stories from the canyon's remote trails and depths. Some talk about an overwhelming feeling of being watched by unseen eyes, a primal unease that settles in the profound silence of the inner canyon. Others recall moments of intense disorientation, way beyond normal fatigue or tricky terrain. There are accounts of lost time, where hours seem to vanish without a trace, or where familiar trails suddenly look alien, leading to that terrifying feeling of being hopelessly adrift. Visitors have described hearing strange, unidentifiable sounds echoing off the canyon walls, whispers with no source, mournful cries, or phantom footsteps in the desolate backcountry where no one else should be. These accounts often feel even more resonant when you consider Native American lore, which populates the canyon with various spirits and powerful beings. Legends of skinwalkers, shape-shifting entities from Navajo folklore, and other powerful forces are sometimes brought up to explain these unsettling encounters, adding a layer of ancient indigenous mystery to modern experiences. The Grand Canyon Caverns near Peach Springs are a popular tourist spot, but they too have their share of ghost stories. Formed millions of years ago, these dry caverns were reportedly used as shelters during the Great Depression. One story tells of a group of travelers who sought refuge there and simply never came out. Visitors to the caverns today have reported hearing whispers, seeing unexplained lights, and feeling a chilling presence. Some believe these are the spirits of those lost travelers, still trapped in the darkness. Some have even claimed to see shadowy figures moving through the tunnels or felt an icy hand brush against them. Employees sometimes even offer ghost tours, a testament to how persistent these eerie tales are. Specific spots within the Grand Canyon National Park itself also have their own ghostly folklore. The Tovar Hotel, a historic lodge on the South Rim, is said to be haunted by several spirits. One prominent figure is reportedly Fred Harvey, founder of the company that designed the hotel. Guests and staff have claimed to see him strolling the hallways or gazing out at the canyon, sometimes even inviting guests to a non-existent holiday party dressed in period clothing. Another legend tells of the Wailing Woman of the Transept Trail on the North Rim. As the story goes, back in the 1920s, a woman's husband and son went hiking on the trail and never returned. Overcome with grief, she supposedly took her own life, and her mournful cries are now said to echo along the trail. Some hikers even report seeing a ghostly figure in white. Even the site of the tragic 1956 mid-air collision of two airliners over the canyon, sometimes called Crash Canyon, is linked to tales of paranormal activity. Rangers and visitors have reported eerie sightings, ghostly apparitions in mid-20th century clothes, and mysterious lights near the crash sites, adding a haunting dimension to the landscape. While many of these accounts are anecdotal, without scientific proof, their persistence definitely adds to the Grand Canyon's enigmatic aura. Are they just products of our imagination, amplified by the canyon's imposing and sometimes intimidating environment? Or do they hint at something more, a landscape imbued with energies or entities that occasionally make their presence known? The sheer number of people who've gone missing, combined with these unsettling reports, makes some wonder if there's a connection. Could some of the vanished have stumbled into areas of unusual phenomena, or encountered something that led to their disorientation and ultimate disappearance? These are questions mainstream science usually dismisses, yet they linger, fueled by the canyon as inherent mystery and its power to evoke both the sublime and the unsettling. The unknown age of the Grand Canyon itself, with some research suggesting it could be as old as 70 million years, while the commonly accepted age is around 6 million, only adds to its enigmatic nature, as so much of its early rock record has been lost to erosion. This incomplete geological story kind of mirrors the incomplete stories of those who vanished and the civilizations rumored to be lost within its folds. So here we are, at a kind of confluence, much like the mighty Colorado River meeting its tributaries. All these threads: unexplained disappearances, ancient legends, reports of paranormal encounters, are starting to weave a complex and deeply unsettling tapestry. The Grand Canyon, a place of undeniable physical grandeur, also emerges as a landscape of profound and persistent enigma. The question that just hangs in the air is, are these separate mysteries, or could there be some unseen current connecting them? Could it be that some of those who vanished without a trace didn't just fall victim to the elements or a terrible accident? Is it even conceivable that they stumbled upon something they weren't meant to see? Maybe they found an entrance to one of those fabled hidden cave systems, the kind described in Kincaid's disputed account or whispered about in local lore, places that were never meant to be disturbed. If such subterranean worlds, or even remnants of them, actually exist, what would happen to an unsuspecting hiker who blundered into their shadowed corridors? Would they ever find their way out, or would they become another permanent, silent resident of the canyon's deep secrets? The tales of lost civilizations, whether they're about ancient Egyptians, Tibetans, or some unknown indigenous culture, far older than we currently recognize, almost always involve them retreating into the earth, finding refuge, or setting up communities within the canyon's vast network of caves and tunnels. If there's even a tiny sliver of truth to these enduring legends, if advanced or reclusive societies once called these hidden places home, what might be left? Could it be guarded? Maybe by remnants of that civilization, by spiritual forces, as Native American traditions might suggest, or simply by the sheer inaccessibility and danger of these unknown spots. The forbidden zones and restricted areas within the canyon, while officially set aside for ecological and cultural preservation, can't help but fuel the imaginations of those who suspect a deeper, more profound secret is being protected. And what about those paranormal claims? The feelings of being watched, the disorienting experiences, the mysterious apparitions. Could these be connected to the lingering presence of those who were lost, their spirits forever tied to the place they vanished? Or, more speculatively, could they be echoes of these hidden civilizations, a psychic residue, or even some kind of ethereal guardianship over sacred or secret sites? The Hopi belief in the Sepapu as a place of emergence from an underworld implies a profound connection between our surface world and realms beneath. What if such portals, or the energies around them, have an unpredictable effect on those who venture too close, unprepared, or unaware? The idea that the Grand Canyon is a place where the veil between worlds is thin is a recurring theme, whether you hear it through indigenous spirituality or modern paranormal theories. What if the seemingly separate mysteries of vanished people and vanished civilizations are, in some cases, two sides of the same coin? Perhaps those who vanished didn't just get lost in the usual sense. Perhaps they became lost to our understanding of reality, crossing a threshold into a part of the Grand Canyon that remains profoundly and perhaps deliberately hidden from the outside world. The answers, if they exist, are buried as deep as the canyon's oldest layers of rock, locked away in places that defy easy exploration and give up their secrets with extreme reluctance. So, why do these stories of vanished people, of hidden civilizations in the Grand Canyon stick around with such stubbornness, often flying in the face of scientific skepticism and a lack of hard proof? Part of the answer has to be the Grand Canyon itself. Its immense scale, its maze-like complexity, and the sheer power of its natural forces create an environment where imagination can just take off. It's a landscape that dwarfs us, reminds us how small we are and how vast the unknown really is. In a place like that, anything can feel possible. Of course, the mainstream scientific view offers rational explanations for many of these things. Disappearances? Attributed to the inherent dangers of a vast, rugged wilderness. Falls, dehydration, heat stroke, flash floods, or simply getting turned around in that intricate network of canyons. Legends of hidden civilizations? Often dismissed as hoaxes, misinterpretations of natural rock formations, or romanticized versions of Native American myths. The Smithsonian has repeatedly denied any cover-up or finding any Egyptian artifacts in the canyon. Archaeologists point to the extensive, well-documented evidence of Native American life in the Grand Canyon, going back thousands of years, including the ancestral Puebloan peoples, but find no credible proof of those more sensational claims about Egyptian or other Old World settlements. And yet, that pull of the unknown, the what if, remains incredibly strong. Stories of lost worlds and hidden secrets tap into a deep human fascination with mystery, and the idea that there's more to our world and our history than we're generally told. The Kincaid story, for instance, despite probably being a fabrication, keeps fascinating people because it offers that tantalizing glimpse into a radically different past. The thought that the Grand Canyon might hold keys to forgotten chapters of human history, or even evidence of civilizations more ancient or advanced than we can currently imagine, is a powerful narrative. Plus, the very vastness of the Grand Canyon means that huge parts of it are still relatively unexplored, especially its extensive cave systems. Many of them are incredibly difficult and dangerous to access. Of the roughly 1,000 caves estimated to exist within the explored 120 miles of the canyon, only about 30 have been thoroughly mapped. That simple fact leaves a massive door wide open for speculation. Who can say with absolute certainty what secrets might still be hidden in those unplumbed depths? This gap in our knowledge creates fertile ground for myths and legends to take root and flourish. The canyon, in its sheer immensity, inherently guards its mysteries, making it just as hard to definitively disprove some claims as it is to prove them. The spiritual significance of the canyon to Native American tribes also adds to its mysterious aura. Their ancient connection to this land, their stories of emergence, spirits, and sacred sites imbue the landscape with a sense of reverence and a deeper meaning that goes beyond just geology. While these beliefs are often misinterpreted or sensationalized by outsiders, they nonetheless contribute to the feeling that the Grand Canyon is a place of profound power and hidden dimensions. The Grand Canyon. It's a monumental testament to nature's power and the sweep of deep time, and it continues to hold its secrets with a formidable grip. The stories of those who vanished into its embrace, leaving only questions and sorrow, are a stark reminder of its untamed and often perilous nature. The legends of hidden civilizations, whether they're elaborate hoaxes or faint echoes of an unverified past, speak to our enduring fascination with the unknown and the possibility of rewriting the stories we tell ourselves. While science and rational thought can explain many of the canyon's mysteries, there always seems to be room left for the unexplained, for those stories that hover right at the edge of belief. The sheer physical reality of the Grand Canyon, its depths, its vastness, its unyielding rock, makes it the perfect keeper of such enigmas. It's a place that invites speculation, that challenges our attempts to fully grasp it, and that will likely keep generating tales of wonder, disappearance, and hidden worlds for generations to come. The true lost civilizations of the Grand Canyon are, of course, the rich and diverse Native American cultures that have called it home for millennia. Their connection to this sacred place is profound and enduring, and their voices and perspectives are vital to understanding the canyon's deepest truths. Perhaps the greatest secret the Grand Canyon holds isn't one of gold or forgotten cities, but of our own relationship with the wild, the ancient, and the unknown. It continues to beckon explorers, to challenge adventurers, and to mystify everyone who gazes into its depths. What truths, if any, lie buried beneath its ancient stones, just waiting for a discovery that might once again rewrite our understanding? Or will its most profound secrets stay forever veiled, protected by the very scale and silence that make the Grand Canyon one of Earth's most awe-inspiring and enigmatic landscapes? What do you believe is hidden within the vastness of the Grand Canyon? Are the tales of vanished people merely tragic accidents? Or is there something more to their stories? And what about those legends of lost civilizations? Pure fantasy? Or a whisper of a forgotten truth? Share your theories and thoughts in the comments below. If you found this journey into the canyon's mysteries intriguing, please give this video a like and subscribe for more explorations into the unexplained. And perhaps, the next time you look out over that immense vista, you'll wonder, just for a moment, about the secrets it still keeps.